Today we're talking about some of the best asexual and aromantic rep out there and what it means if they're your favorite. Don't worry, this is all going to be in good fun, so if I do end up calling you out, just know it's all in love. And hey, if I missed someone that you think is a really good aspec character, let me know in the comments.
And on this journey, one more love unraveled. I finally learned to love me for me.
Let's start off with a big one. If Todd is your favorite, then you love wholesome but chaotic goofball energy. You're either the friend who goes on spontaneous adventures, or the one who gets roped into them. You're full of ideas, but actually figuring out how to make them work isn't always easy for you. Also, you might be a little too good at improv, like dangerously good. If Isaac is your vibe, then you appreciate the quiet characters, the bookworms, and those who communicate best with a well-timed glance. You've definitely thought about running away to a bookshop at some point in your life, and let's be real, you have some very strong opinions about library etiquette. If Gwenpool is your favorite, then you have a lot of main character energy, but in the most I didn't mean to way possible. You love meta humor and break the fourth wall in real life way too often. Also, you've definitely debated whether chaotic good or chaotic neutral fits you better. Spoiler, it's chaotic yes. You either had a massive oh moment while reading this manga, or you just love seeing quiet self-reflection done properly. You know the power of a good coming-of-age story and probably have a soft spot for indie comics and for heartfelt narratives. Also, you will recommend this book to everyone you meet. If Abbi Singh is your favorite character, then you love seeing aspec rep in unexpected places. You appreciate characters who are both intelligent and compassionate, and you probably have a soft spot for science fiction. You're either a STEM person yourself or just really love the reluctant hero trope that she follows. Also, you have very strong opinions on bioethics, and you're probably the friend who always reads the fine print on medical studies before you share them. Oh, you like a little spice in your aspec rep, huh? Now, if Alastor is your fave, you appreciate a little chaos, a little darkness, and a whole lot of vintage aesthetic. You either have a playlist full of jazz, or you really love the villain redemption arcs. Also, you can and will explain in detail why aspec characters can be flirty and charismatic. If Nadia Van Dyne's version of the Wasp is your favorite, you have taste. You appreciate superheroes who aren't just about punching things, but also about heart and depth. If Nadia is your fave, you probably love found family stories, and you definitely cried over the Young Avengers at least once. Like Abbi fans, you also likely have an affinity for STEM, and you also want to see more authentic and carefully crafted neurodivergent rep. Now, if you're a Georgia fan, you definitely get the Arrow Ace struggle. You've had the am I broken moments, and now you want to make sure that no one has to go through that alone. You're probably the mom friend, the therapist friend, or the friend who will send the have you eaten today texts. Also, Alice Oseman, she owns your soul. Admit it, she does. You were that kid who argued that comic Jughead is better than TV Jughead. You're an absolute champion of, nah, I'm good. And you have perfected the art of dodging unwanted flirting. You also might have a deep love for diners and burgers that just can't be explained. You've even thought that maybe burgers, and by extension veggie burgers, should make their way onto the aspec dinner plate alongside garlic bread and cake. Now, if Cash is your favorite, you have a soft spot for characters who are a little lost, but they're trying their best. You appreciate quiet, complex characters who express themselves more through their actions than their words. and you are probably the chillest person in your friend group, or you're the one who disappears for days and then comes back with a deep emotional revelation. Also, you definitely would have a less common pet at home, or at least a desire to have one. You like your Aspec rep to be able to take anybody down in hand-to-hand combat. Now, you love a good legacy character and probably have a whole speech ready about why Connor Hawke deserves more recognition and how his asexuality doesn't cancel out his vow to the monastery. Also, you have a strong opinion on Green Arrow's lore, about Arrow, about where he fits in the comics, everything. You believe in love, just not in that way. You're the ultimate wingman, and your heart definitely melts for a good platonic partnership. Now, you've probably daydreamed about living with your best friend forever, and maybe have a spreadsheet about it. If Elijah is your favorite, you value kindness, respect, and deep conversations about life. You appreciate characters who are unapologetically themselves, even if they don't always understand the world around them. You might come from a more religious background or a family with strong beliefs, and you know what it's like to navigate your identity within that space. You're probably the person in your friend group who listens more than you speak. And when you do talk, it's something thoughtful. Like a Silent Bob type. You love learning about history and different cultures. And you have a natural curiosity about the world. But on the other hand, you definitely have a wholesome sense of humor and might be the only one in your friend group who genuinely doesn't understand the dirty jokes when they come up. If Sakuko is your favorite, you love people who are unapologetically passionate about their interests. You value self-discovery and the courage to define happiness on your own terms. You're probably the kind of person who naturally builds connections through shared hobbies and enthusiasms, always ready to bring people together. You thrive in spaces where you can be authentically yourself, and you believe that relationships, whether platonic, familial, or otherwise, are built on mutual understanding and joy. Also, you definitely have at least one hyperfixation that you could talk about for hours. Now, from the same show, if Takahashi resonates with you, you admire people who are practical, independent, and quietly thoughtful. You probably relate to preferring solitude, but being open to meaningful connections when they truly matter. You value authenticity over social expectations. And while you might not be the most outwardly expressive, you're always willing to try new experiences when they align with your values. Also, you definitely have a strong personal routine. And when you find something you love, whether it's a hobby, a place, or a favorite meal, you stick with it. And finally, if Spooner is your favorite, you're probably fiercely independent and don't trust easily. But when you do, you're ride or die for your people. You're skeptical of things until you see proof with your own eyes. And you have a strong instinct for self-preservation. You're the kind of person who always has a backup plan, and a backup to the backup, and a backup for that. Despite your tough exterior, you care deeply about the people around you, even if you don't always know how to show it. Also, you definitely have at least one weird skill that would be incredibly useful in an alien invasion. So, did I call you out? Let me know in the comments which of these characters is your favorite and why. And if I missed any great Aspec rep, drop them below. I'm always looking for more Aspec rep to look into. Now, I imagine some of you may be thinking that I forgot to mention any of the characters from Sex Education. I didn't forget. I simply chose to leave the show out due to the showrunner's dismissal of Yasmin Benoit's input on accurate representation. So personally, I have a hard time with that series as a whole. However, if the show is a source that you identify with for yourself, that's wonderful and incredibly important, and something that you should hold dearly to yourself. Now, if you're looking for more Aspec rep, I've got just the thing for you. Last month, I published my debut book, Limitless, Poetry of an Aromantic and Asexual Journey. Travel with me from the confused awkwardness of teenage angst, through the culture shock of college, to finding and accepting my Aspec identity into becoming the proud and confident person I am today. Limitless is available now, so check the links in the description. And if you want to see what other people thought before you make up your mind, check out the reviews on Goodreads, which I also have in the description. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.